Hello, hello, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for your patience as I get myself set up. We are ready to roll. It is Classic Tetris Biweekly. We have Bracket 26, which is a huge one. It is a 40-plus person double elim, colossal bracket fest. And here we have one of our early round matchups. It is NerdTheBox and SpectricElectric. Nerd on the left has a record of 12-14, an ELO of 1774, a PB of 1.232 million, and on 19 it's 1.109 million, and NerdTheBox is a hyper tapper. On the other side, we've got Spectric with a record of 36-27, ELO of 1444, a PB of 1.091 million, and on 19 it's 960k, and Spectric is a hybrid player. This is Classic Tetris Biweekly. Normally, it's a single elim bracket, but for this special one, it's a double elim. There's still best of 5 matches. Higher seed gets to choose level first, and then after that, whoever loses chooses the next one. And in this bracket, you can choose between 12, 15, or 18, or a vetoable 19 for the level start. And I'll just say this, the bracket is so big, it won't even fit on my screen, so I'll save the bracket for at the end, but just rest assured it is freaking-normous. So let's bring it on over to the match screen where looks like our players are getting some warm-up action in. Seed is in the chat for both of you. So once everyone is ready, we can go ahead and get started, and Nerd, as the higher seed, you get first choice of level. All right, and looks like, yep, NerdTheBox is ready, has the classic hover 3 indicating readiness for level 18. And Spectric is entering the seed right now. It is 3EF790. 3E is in Eves, F is in Fractal 790. And once I got both players ready, we shall get this one started. Okay, both players indicating they are ready. So let's begin this matchup. Here it comes in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. All right, the game is afoot on the left. I'm sure it will be ready on the right shortly. There it is, just a mild bit of stream delay, nothing too big to worry about. But at long last, we can begin this matchup. I know these two were waiting for a while, hoping to find a restreamer. And I decided to make an appearance, and we'll get this one taken care of. Now, as far as these two players, Nerd is on my stream for the very first time. That is correct. I have not had a matchup with Nerd on my restream before. But I have had Spectric, a lot more than I thought, actually. I've had Spectric on my stream 7 times. Spectric is 2-5 all-time when I restream them, hoping to maybe have a little better fortune that one than what was seen in the past. But we'll have to play out this one to see if those fortunes can indeed be changed. Right now, we're just over 20 lines in. Current scores are 123,000 for Nerd, 96,000 for Spectric. And looking at their match histories, this is also a first-time battle. These two have never played each other before, so we're getting potentially the start of a new rivalry. You'll have to stick around yourself to find out. And about 40 lines in, this one is still fairly neck and neck, although with that Tetris, Nerd is going to take a lead of, well, about a Tetris, as we're a third of the way to transition. 580,000 is the pace for NerdTheBox. On Spectric's side of things, he's looking at a 520,000 transition, so both players looking at good numbers so far early on. And we'll see if they can maintain this pace as we enter the remaining portions of level 19 and perhaps beyond that. Spectric is set up kind of high. He did have an extremely dirty Tetris setup, but decided to take some safety burns and is still waiting for this long bar, which has not come for a little while. And this is definitely a drought we're looking at. 20 plus pieces. And it ends at about 24 pieces. Spectric can't use it for a Tetris, but he is going to work to burn this board down. Meanwhile, Nerd is looking extremely clean on the left-hand side. Gets a Tetris. This is about a 530,000 transition pace for Nerd, who is halfway to level 19. And Spectric's pace is about 440,000. So both players deal with a little bit of burning, little hiccup in the pace in the last 20 or so lines, but they've managed to bring their boards down, clean things up, and get back to a state of Tetris readiness. As it stands, it is Nerd with the lead of about 2 Tetrises. Well, 3 with that one, 321,000 to 245,000, but Spectric's going to fire one right back, and they will have to take care of that long bar dependency, which is resolved with a perfectly timed long bar. You just got to love it when you have a dependency, you know you need to fill it, and the piece you need shows up right as you realize I have a dependency. It's one of the greatest pleasures in Tetris life. That's for sure. But in terms of this game, 332,000 for NerdTheBox, 294,000 for Spectric. So it's a lead of almost 3 Tetrises as we're nearing 90 lines cleared for both players. And again, after some minor speed bumps around line 50, both these players have managed to put down some Tetrises at a consistent rate, but now the pieces are not cooperating as much as they had been as of late. So gonna need to do some burning on both sides of the board as we approach 100 lines. NerdTheBox still holding on to that lead of about 2 to 3 Tetrises, 386,000 to 352,000, but both players get a Tetris. It's almost a simultoastress as I'm giving a score update, and Nerd is now the first one over 400K. Now, both these players have at least something beyond DAS in their arsenal. You may remember from our introduction that NerdTheBox is a... where is it? NerdTheBox is a hyper tapper, and Spectric is a hybrid player, so they both have the ability to get pieces over fast. So coming up on level 19 may not be as daunting of a thought as you might think for your typical DAS player. They don't have to be as focused on getting their stack in order because a speed change isn't as much of a culture shock for them. But Nerd can get one more Tetris, already at 502,000. Spectric can also actually get 2 more Tetrises. And NerdTheBox, I don't know if that was an attempt at a VIT setup, but it's only 3 high, so it's a 3 high iTuck setup, which amounts to nothing as Nerd transitions at 510,000. Spectric is holding out for this long bar and gets it to transition at 472,000. So it's about a 2 Tetris edge for NerdTheBox into level 19. And Nerd will get one more Tetris as Spectric needs a Tetris and gets one to bring this board down. Has a little work to do on the left-hand side of the board. And we'll see if he can make his way out of this, slowly burning down pieces, trying to get things over. Nice flat burns going on. Spectric is still surviving. Would love a L piece on the left, but he's not going to get it. And he just has to go line by line, trying to burn this down, and hangs a couple pieces. And that's going to do for SpectricElectric, who tops out at 503,000. NerdTheBox has taken game number 1. So we'll put that first heart onto the board for him. As Nerd still building up, gets a nice little Tetris, 603,000 onto level 22. And upon realizing he is victorious, Nerd is going to top out. And we shall move on to game number 2. Oh, okay. And Nerd clarifying in the chat, for those of you listening and watching the screen only, Nerd is playing DAS in this match. So, important clarification to make for those of you watching and considering. So let's go on to game number 2. We should be at 4F. This is 4F as in... Ooh, who can we choose for this one? How about 4F as in Fire Docks? We'll go with that. And we are now ready on both sides, so let's count this one down. It seems like both players are good with 18 all the way, so that's what we're sticking with. Here it comes in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And the game shall begin once more. Nerd taking that first one after both players head into level 19 speeds and get a bit past that. We'll see if the encore performance is just as good at the first. Now, taking a look at Nerd's match history. The record goes back to June of 2021. So, Nerd, as far as recorded online matches, goes back about almost 4.5 years. We'll call it 4 years and a couple of months. First came on playing the Tetris Death matches back in June and July of 2021. Played LMAO Yeet and Toby. Lost both. And looks like Nerd has some matches. Has an ELO battle against Kingsman to his name. He beat Kingsman. Congrats on that. Beat Penguin Paddock and Elp. So Nerd has some victories against some high-level CTL players in this as well. I mean, he lost to Blue Scooty in a decider. He beat Matt Martin, beat Elias, AV Geek Shake. I mean, based on match history, Nerd is a formidable opponent to go up against. And Spectric is doing all he can to make this a game here as we are almost 30 lines in. This is actually a neck and neck one. 120,000 for Spectric, 121,000 for NerdTheBox. And Spectric is trying to get column number 5 open as he is center well Tetris ready. And he's going to get that, not only a center well, but a dirty center well Tetris. That is 3 rows off the bottom for Spectric. Meanwhile, NerdTheBox is going to get a standard Tetris and is up by about 1 Tetris here as we're closing in on a third of the way to level 19. 540,000 pace for NerdTheBox, and the pace for Spectric is 460. But despite what history may tell you, this is a pretty good matchup that we're seeing here. Both these players able to pace pretty well, put up some big numbers, do some good stacking, and show some great survival, and still in that realm of neck and neckness as NerdTheBox is up by less than a Tetris, 239K to 220,000. We are about 55 lines in this second game as Spectric's going to get a long bar and he's going to have the lead for the moment by about 5,000 points. So the necks get a little neckier as this one goes on. And coming up on halfway to transition, it looks like 530,000 is the pace for Spectric. And for NerdTheBox, this is about a 580,000 transition pace. So for the second game of the row, both players looking really good in these earlier portions of level 18 play. And coming up on 60 lines to go before we hit level 19. Right now, sitting 75 lines in the books. NerdTheBox is going to throw down to Tetris. He's up by 50,000 points, but Spectric's going to throw one right back. So we're going a little bit back and forth. That lead hovering around 1 Tetris for NerdTheBox, 360K to 340K. That is the advantage at the moment as NerdTheBox gets another Tetris, but Spectric is going to follow right back. So it's going to be dueling Tetrises for the foreseeable future as both players working with clean boards and not having to do a whole ton of burning, at least not at the moment. No excessive dig situations to worry about, just good, fundamentally sound Tetris. A beautiful sight to behold for both of these players. But we are coming up to 100 lines. The good old classic Joey Parker turn. And as we get there, the scores are still remaining solid. We are surpassed the Ben Mullen rule of thumb for a good transition, as both these players have over 400,000 points. 417K for Spectric, 439, make it 462K for NerdTheBox. And looking at transitions that should, assuming they're able to maintain this pace, be well into the 500,000s. And that Ben Mullen rule of thumb, the phrase that he used when he was talking to me, he said 400 by 100. As in, if you have 400,000 points by the time you clear 100 lines, it's going to be a pretty good transition for you. And Nerd is trying to reinforce that notion, gets a Tetris, and Spectric is going to open up column 3. We'll see if he goes for that column 3 Tetris or decides to just transition it over and hit the old reset button on this build, and I think it's going to be the latter. Meanwhile, NerdTheBox is 2 Tetrises away from level 19. There is one of them. You can get one more Tetris, does have a couple burns in hand if necessary, but it's looking like it's going to be around a 580,000 transition, assuming everything goes according to plan, and it does. There's the Tetris. 581K is the transition for NerdTheBox, and in all likelihood, Spectric will burn into level 19, and that is what he does, 450,000. So Nerd has managed to open up the lead here heading into level 19, those last 30 lines of 18, allowing him to push pretty far ahead. 607,000 to 474,000. So this is about a 5.5 Tetris lead now for NerdTheBox as we are heading into level 20 for both players. Spectric building a row off the bottom, gets the dirty Tetris, and we'll see if he decides to keep building off the bottom or bring it all down, as Nerd is in trouble up top. If he's still playing with Das, this is not a good spot, and Nerd just topped out. So Spectric, you have a chase down. 613,000 is the score you need. You get 613,000, you take game number 2. And Spectric dealing with a little bit of a rough stack at the moment. It's getting a little high. It's not too gangly, but it's going to require additional time to get burned down here. And Spectric he was going for the fight. He's going to have to go for the flat burn now. And, oh no, the pieces did not cooperate with him at the end there. And Nerd is going to take game number 2, the chase down not materializing for Spectric. Oh, what an unfortunate way to end that one. And Nerd is now up 2-0. And we go on to our next seed. It is 5-0. And I've got a ready on the right from Spectric. And we'll wait for Nerd to get themselves ready as well. Alrighty, I've got it ready from both players. Let's start game number 3. We're going to count this one down in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And in the previous game, we took a look into the lore of NerdTheBox, looked at some match history. We're going to do the same for Spectric in this game number 3. And as far as the game situation, Spectric needing a win to stay alive and hope to remain in the winner's bracket portion of CTBW number 26. Again, this is double elim, so if Spectric loses, all hope is not lost. There is a loser's bracket where he can work his way back up to the top. But he'll have to win the next 3 to stay in that top half. Meanwhile, Nerd just looking for one more to move on to the next round. But Spectric came onto the online scene about 6 months ago, so almost a happy half-anniversary, and has just been cranking out matches here. Started out in TNP, has played some names that I have seen in my fair share of time here: Kalimoto, Wilson, Bebop, Weegloogie, Superstep. I mean, I've seen most of them. I've played a handful of them. Marts as well. I've had my share of friendlies against Marts. Also met Marts at the Jonas Cup. But lots and lots of TNP action here on the side of SpectricElectric. And now coming up on, looks like about 30 lines in for both players. It is Spectric with the lead right now, 113,000 to 87,000. He's got the advantage. And as far as TNP alignment, where is Spectric in terms of division? Is he promoted? I want to say Spectric is a gold level player. At least that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but we're a third of the way to transition. A hay now on the board for Spectric. He's on about a 450,000 transition pace, as is NerdTheBox. So they are roughly neck and neck. But Nerd getting a Tetris, Spectric getting one as well. So the lead actually now favoring NerdTheBox, up 202,000 to 192,000, as we're about 55 lines in this third game. And we have just learned and therefore must confirm. Well, first we'll give a pace check. Spectric on about a 440,000 pace for level 19. NerdTheBox on about a 460,000 pace, but can confirm it looks like Spectric has managed to promote out of gold based on the label I'm seeing, which would put them into Classic Tetris League. Shows you how much attention I'm paying to things. Spectric did promote, I want to say gold 65. Looks like he got second place in that and would have gotten a conditional promotion. So I believe that means Spectric will be into next season of Classic Tetris League. So congrats on that, by the way. But right now, 80 lines in, Spectric with the lead, 337,000 to 284,000. So Spectric hanging on to what is currently a lead of about one Tetris and change, as we are coming up to 90 lines cleared out by both players, still on level 18. And both players with clean boards. NerdTheBox is Tetris ready. He's going to throw one down, Tetris for Nerd, and one more for Spectric. So still holding on to that just over a Tetris edge is Spectric, but also worth noting that he is a few lines in the future, currently sitting at 100 lines for Spectric, 95 for NerdTheBox. So pace-wise, I'd say they're about even, but in terms of raw score, Spectric does have the advantage. And right now, Spectric getting what he needs to get Tetris ready. Nerd gets the J piece. I was noticing that J tuck. He does make it happen. Now waiting for that long bar to show up. Where is the long bar? There it is. Tetris for Nerd. Both players now over 400,000 points. But Spectric not letting up one bit, keeping his foot on the gas. 460,000 to 403,000 as Nerd throws another Tetris down. And we are nearing that transition. As it stands, Spectric has 3 Tetrises. With that one, it's going to be 2. 2 more Tetrises for Spectric, 3 more for NerdTheBox before that level 19 transition. So we'll see if these players can pull off maximum efficiency heading into level 19. There's one more for both. Spectric's on his last Tetris. Nerd could get 2 more, and Spectric gets his. Transitions at 533,000 points. Nerd, meanwhile, is going to get a Tetris in, transitions at 521. So this is still roughly a 1 Tetris lead for Spectric. Both players on level 19 speeds and having to do a little bit of burning to get themselves back to building for Tetrises. And we'll see who can get themselves clean first. I want to say Spectric is probably the odds-on favorite, but I have seen wild solves happen that would really change the complexity of the game. And we'll see what happens here. And it turns out they both got ready about the same time. So I thought it was going to be Spectric, but Nerd doing some great solve work gets their board ready as well. And we'll see who can get the first Tetris of the bunch here onto levels 20 and 21, respectively. There it is. I see Tetrises for both 600,000 for Spectric, 568,000 for Nerd, who gets another Tetris. And this game has gotten a lot closer here in the past handful of lines. But Spectric, the first to 600K, 630 to 595 will give some kill screen pace projections momentarily. This is a 970,000 kill screen pace for Spectric, speaking of paces. So not quite max out pace, but still looking pretty dang good. And Nerd, I'll be able to tell you those numbers in probably a couple more lines, or, if you can get a Tetris, I can tell you then as well. But there we go. This is about a 950,000 pace for Nerd, down by about 50,000 points to Spectric. So again, still just over a 1 Tetris lead for Spectric as players are on to level 24. 50 or so lines until the kill screen. And as was noted earlier, Nerd indicated that they are playing with DAS, so that level 29 will in essence be the end of the game unless we see a switch to Hyper Tap. I guess I can't rule out the possibility, and someone will see if Spectric gets to kill screen, if Spectric has any 29 play in them, as the scores are 679,000. Make it 7-11 as Nerd gets the Tetris. 7-11, open 24 hours. Here we go. And, with a score like that, the center well is open all the time. But 759K for Spectric, as Spectric is on 26, about 10 lines ahead currently, which means Nerd has a little bit more runway to work with, as we are on an inevitable collision course with the kill screen coming right up. 749 for Nerd, 768 for Spectric. Now it's 769 is the score. About 15 lines until the kill screen for these players. And on the right, looks like there is a one-piece gap there that Spectric is going to have to clear out, and does so. Gets a Tetris. Spectric can get 2 more Tetrises before a kill screen, and NerdTheBox has taken the lead, 824 to 810. Nerd has 3 more Tetrises available to them. Meanwhile, Spectric getting S and Z bursted, now needs a long bar. That board is getting high. He's selling out for this long bar, but it's not showing up. Spectric's getting droughted. He does get the long bar. He can get 1 more before the kill screen. Is he going to get it? He gets the long bar. 881 is the score. Nerd, you need 882,000 to get this game and get the sweep. 882, I should say. 882 is the score you need. Is he going to hold out for this Tetris? He's playing with fire and he gets burnt in the end. Spectric goes into kill screen, survives the furious chase down on 28 by NerdTheBox in a close battle all the way through. Spectric takes the game. We are playing another one here, folks. It is 2-1. And we take it to game number 4. And, regardless of the winner, that's the kind of finish you like to see. It's close. It's back and forth. There's a lot of suspense and maybe a kill screen in there, too. And both of these players looking really good in that one. But we move on to the next one. Your seed should be 6-1. And both players are ready. So let's start game number 4. We're going to count it down in 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris. So Spectric manages to stave off elimination in this one. And the game goes on. The story remains the same mostly. If Nerd wins, the match is over. Nerd will win 3-1 and move on to the next round. But if Spectric wins, we get a decider, and that means we need more points. And if my Twitch console is right, there's a chance I may have to force an ad break before game number 5. I don't know why it's telling me that, but I'll check on that after game 4 and see if we can get through game 5 without one. But, if we have to take a quick break, we have to take a quick break. I don't make the rules. Twitch tells me when the ad happens, I suppose. but currently sitting on 20 or so lines in, it is Spectric with the lead at the moment, 116,000 to 98,000. That is the score. So the story begins similar as it did in game number 3. Spectric with the slight lead. This is just under a 1 Tetris advantage. And we'll see if he can hold on to it throughout this one like he did for most of game number 3. Because if so, we're getting to game number 5. Right now, it looks like NerdTheBox waiting for the long bar, as is Spectric. There it is, Tetris for Nerd, and there it is for Spectric. Tetris for both. Coming up on 1/3 of the way to that level 19 transition. We'll give you an idea of how their paces is looking when they reach that milestone. And Nerd is there looking at a 600,000 transition pace at the moment. And Spectric, not to be outdone, this is still a 570,000 transition pace on his side of the board. So we get a little bit of burning on Spectric's side. Nerd is clean, waiting for a Tetris. There it is, Tetris for Nerd. And the scores, as they are right now, 259,000. You know, make it 281,000. That was a toastress to 201,000. So that episode of burning we saw on the right has allowed NerdTheBox to gain the lead and push it out a little bit. The lead currently sitting at just under 4 Tetrises as we near halfway to transition. And just like that, we're halfway there. Nerd sitting at a 650,000 transition pace. Really good numbers right here. We'll see if Nerd can maintain that pace. Spectric is on a 500,000 transition pace, which, you know, normally you'd say 500,000 is pretty good, but it doesn't look like it when your opponent is putting up a 650K potential transition. So Spectric going to do everything they can to push the Tetrises down and keep on keeping on here as we are in the second half of level 18 play over here. Right now, Spectric gets the burns he needs, is able to get all of that weight off of the right well, puts a Tetris down. NerdTheBox is going to get a Tetris as well, over 400,000 now at 85 lines, and another, so that's back-to-back Tetrises for NerdTheBox. And Spectric just trying to fight back, fight fire with fire, throw down a Tetris whenever Nerd does. Just like that, there is a Tetris for Spectric. So the lead is still about 3 Tetrises. Spectric, if Spectric was playing with dash, I'd call that an early dash shift, but I think Spectric is tapping right now. But either way, coming up on 100 lines. Nerd with the clean board, Spectric with the gaps there in that 3rd row. So he'll either have to just start from scratch and burn it all down, or decide if he wants to build dirty. And I think the answer is build dirty, as he gets a dirty Tetris. It just all came together in the blink of an eye for Spectric. 2 pieces later, he's getting a long bar for a dirty Tetris and throws it right down. So you can't ask for much better luck than that. And now at 107 lines for both of them, 430,000 for Spectric, 485,000 for NerdTheBox, who gets one of his own, now over 500,000 points. And as we enter this tail end of 19 play, looks like both players with about 4 Tetrises, although they're going to get one. So now we're down to 3 Tetrises before the transition. Spectric still going a row off the bottom. Nerd staying down nice and clean. Both players ready for a Tetris. Spectric, one of the dirty variety, and he's going to get it. Nerd of the standard, it's on the bottom of the board variety. And Spectric's board not looking the best, especially being this close to level 19. He's probably going to be able to get this burn down, but it means he's going to burn into 19 at 504,000. This is a savable board. Nothing to worry about here too much, especially with Spectric's abilities, as he is able to downstack and get rewarded with the Tetris. 535K to 609K. Nerd just takes a dirty split triple and gets that gap out of the board, so now Nerd can start getting ready for Tetrises once again. And he's going to need to, as Spectric has shown a little fight here heading into level 19, gets a dirty triple, and he's going to have to get that left side open to try and clean things up. Meanwhile, Nerd, ready for the Tetris, gets the long bar, gets the Tetris, 667K to 578,000. NerdTheBox is on to level 20, just got to level 21. Nerd is about 5 lines behind Spectric. Spectric has 156 to now 155, so it's kind of caught up and even itself out in terms of line count. And Spectric, that's a great adjustment to get those burns. I did not see that when I was looking at his board, but Spectric with the vision gets the board Tetris ready. Now just needs a long bar to get rewarded for his efforts. And Nerd looking for the same Tetris for both. That's a simul Tetris. This is about a 950,000 kill screen pace for Spectric. We'll let you know Nerd's numbers very shortly, probably at the next line clear, as we are waiting for that long bar. There it is. This is a 1.08 million pace for NerdTheBox right now. So Nerd is on a max out pace. We'll see if he can maintain this in the remaining 50 or so lines, well, maybe 60 or so lines, based on the fact that Nerd is on level 23, but he's hung a couple of pieces. He's not able to get that long bar over. I think the quick tap failed, and he's going to top out, it looks like. Yep, he's going to top out. So, Spectric, we meet again. It's another chase down. 743,000 is what you need. 743,000 will get you game number 4. All right, and it sounds like there may be an ad running on my screen. I can't tell for sure, but the score is in the chat. 742,240 is the score that Spectric needs to take game number 4 and force the decider. The board's getting high. Can he survive this? He hangs a long bar, and he's going to top out, and that is going to do it, folks. Oh, what an effort. Great games from both of you. Nerd is going to take it, and I feel like there's going to be an ad coming. I'll report the score. We'll report the score. I'll put the bracket up at the end as well, just so you can see it, and then we'll find someone to raid. So let's put this one in. There is that third heart for NerdTheBox. And let's go ahead and report this one in quick, and then I will show you the bracket as it stands. All right. And no, Spectric, I would say, no, you can't be too mad about that. All right, let's play Where the Heck is That VOD Link? All right. Okay, we're gonna try and put this on the screen. It's gonna look a little weird because this bracket is so big, not even all of it fits on the screen. But if you look near the middle of the board in this incredibly scuffed standing scene, you see NerdTheBox and SpectricElectric. And Nerd is going to move on to the next round for match number 45. And he'll play the winner between Cole and either Nyakozame or Ethan Thoth, one of those three. And Spectric is going to go down to the losers bracket. And I'll see if I can scroll down to see where he will end up. He was match number 11. So that's going to be somewhere in here. It looks like Spectric is going to play Condensed Aaron in the next round. So there you go. That is one of the brackets of all time. We'll put it that way. But let's find somebody to raid. Who's playing Tetris right now? Let's see who is on. Oh, Classic Tetris League is on. Let's go ahead and check out the action over there. We'll see you all on the next one.